And what is going on, everybody? I am Scott Moran. Welcome to this edition of Tuesday Takeover. As always, with me is Jordan P. Anderson and Taylor Danielle. What is going on, guys?
What is up?
What is
you know the drill. Today's my Monday.
Today is exactly right. Yeah, that's for anybody who has not joined us more recently. Today's Taylor's Monday. So we got Taylor. How was your weekend? How was yesterday?
It was pretty chill. It was nice. I got to go to the store and nobody was there because everybody was at work.
Underrated. I remember the last time that we had our daughter, I was, I did the paternity thing for a little bit. You know what I mean? I took like 2 weeks off, stuff like that. And I was like, man, this is crazy. Like the Tuesday afternoon grocery shopping, unbeatable. And that's never left my brain since. Yeah. Never left my
except for Costco. Costco is busy no matter what time of day that you go.
Every day.
I've tried it. I don't know what everybody's doing and how come I can't live my life to where I could be at Costco at 1 o'clock in the afternoon doing absolutely nothing.
It's goals, man. It's goals. That's dreams. That's right. It's somewhere to go. I don't know what happened between the idea of like me becoming a dad, but I'm telling you, like the first time I went to Costco after becoming a father, I was like, this place, like it's something deep inside me was now unleashed, and Costco is where it wants to be. That's where it's at. So anyway, for those of you guys who are joining us, I hope all of you guys had a great weekend as well. We are back with another edition of the Tuesday Takeover, and today we're talking about this creator right here. This girl's name is Isabella. She runs a YouTube channel called Baddie in Business, and we will be looking at her business. We'll be breaking down where her money comes from. We'll be breaking down where she'd be making more, and just talking about what makes this brand successful, what is making her tick, what's really driving revenue, and we get a chance to talk about that. So like I said, nice. I'm Scott Moran, co-founder here at Samcart. That guy right there is Jordan P. Anderson. That girl down there is Taylor Danielle. We are here to do the breakdown. Jordan, it's the breakdown, man. This is you. Where are we going?
It's the breakdown. Okay, yes. Welcome to the takeover. Some people are asking, what is the takeover? I don't even know what a takeover means. This is the Tuesday takeover. So every Tuesday here on Samcart, we go through and find an Instagrammer, YouTuber, podcaster, Patreon, whoever it may be, creator out there in the world, and we find their business. We go to their websites. We break down their websites. Sometimes we do it live. Today, we're going to do it live. We're going to do a live breakdown of Baddie in Business and figure out where they're making money, how much money they're making, and how they can be making more money. And hopefully you watching at home, maybe you have your own business, maybe you're thinking about starting your own online business, and you can pick up some tips along the way. And if this is your first takeover, watching the first takeover ever, type first in the chat. We have over 40 people watching right now in the chat, so get your typing fingers ready to go. If you're on your phone, type away, type first if this is your first. And also, where are you from? What country are you from? What state? What city do you live in? We've got some people from Germany. We've got Singapore. We've got Jamaica. We've got all sorts of places. Ghana as well. So yeah, drop where you're at, and also type first in the chat as well if this is your first takeover. I think that's it. What's next? Oh yes, Taylor, you want to take this one? This is the next rule number 2.
Yeah, so we have a lot of revelations during these takeovers, and we want you to share them. So if you have a huge aha moment of like, this would be dope for my business, I need to do that, share it. We want to know what you're thinking. A lot of great ideas have come from these takeovers. So you've got friends here. Let's share all the information that we can so we all can be bosses in our own businesses.
And throughout the show, if you have questions, drop it in the chat. We'll ask any kind of business questions, any questions about Samcart, Creator U. Alcon just asked, like, are there replays of the past takeovers? Yes, there are. You can watch them here on YouTube. Go to the playlist, the Tuesday Takeover playlist, and they just joined Creator U. Welcome. Glad you're here. What's going on? Let's get into it, Scott. We're ready.
Let's do it. Awesome. So listen. This is going to be a fun one, right? But this one, we actually got some rules, which I think is pretty funny, right? So, again, this girl, this creator that we're about to break down, her name is Isabella, right? And we have some rules, okay? She's got this thing where basically she's saying, listen, I am not going to sell courses. I'm not going to do it, right? It's a stance. It's something she does and says, listen, I'm not here to do this. This is not what I'm here to do. No courses and no personal brand, right? A lot of times she's on camera and she's talking about the idea that like, listen, I'm going to teach you how to do stuff like this without getting on camera. I'm going to teach you how to become a creator and find an income online, how to do this kind of stuff without needing a personal brand, meaning you're the brand. You know what I mean? Your face, your thing. Like that's what it takes. And so anyway, we're going to dive into that kind of stuff. we do the same thing every week, right? And again, if Jordan's on point and said this is your first takeover, right? Give us a first down in the chat. I always love knowing who has been here and who has not been
Yes.
here. But
no, Scott, I want to
we
know in
do
the chat if you've ever thought about having your own personal brand, or you felt pressure to have your own personal brand. Type yes in the chat, or like, I don't want to be on camera, but everyone says I have to be on camera in order to make money online. Type yes in the chat.
type that whole thing in the chat. Type, I don't want to be on camera, but I think I need to be on camera. Type that whole thing.
Exactly. Quote.
That's what I want to see.
Twitter
Absolutely.
fingers.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, and this is funny. Before we were hopping on, like Jordan and Taylor and I were talking, and we were basically saying we're excited to do this one because it's such a different take. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody and their mother out there makes courses, but at the end of the day, you know, like, how do you make money without that, right? And the answer is you can, and it's very simple, right? So we're excited to kind of dive into it. But every time we do a takeover, when we come in and we look at someone's business and we want to find out, okay, how much money are they making? Where are they making it, right? Where's the opportunity to keep growing? We ask ourselves 4 questions. Taylor, let's walk through these 4 questions, and I'm going to let you take this one.
Yeah, so the first one is what's the opportunity? And we look at this in terms of audience size. So, what are you doing in terms of all your social channels? How many people are you reaching? We like to go by the rule of every subscriber that you have equates to $1. So, for all of the different channels that you have, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Vine, I don't know, whatever you got out there's so many. Each person that you have that's following you or subscribed to you equates to $1. So we like to look at that first to see how much reach that you could possibly have and potential money you might be missing out on.
Love it. Yeah. What is the big opportunity? Love it. And then we come out to, okay, what is someone promoting?
Yeah. What do you have to offer? What is it that you're known for? What's your thing? What's your passion that you're trying to put out there for the world and have other people receive? And that could be anything from your personal brand if you want to, or something else that you're doing that has nothing to do with you, where your face doesn't have to be seen. So what is it that you're trying to put out there that people can take an opportunity to obtain?
Question
And
3.
then, yeah, how easy is it to buy? It's not hard. I used to look at this third one and be like, is there some secret sauce thing that's supposed to happen? Just literally, is it difficult for me to buy something from you? So we definitely look at
physically
that.
hard. Exactly right. And the last one.
And then how easy is it to buy more? So obviously, when you have someone's attention to buy something, there's an extra set of opportunity in a small window for you to get them to add more onto that, whether that's an upsell or an order bump or some type of bundling thing. There's always an opportunity to get people to buy more. So we want to see how easy is that for you to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead. We'll start with question number 1, right? What is the opportunity? Right. So again, this is Baddie in Business, Baddie, right? Baddie in Business. Again, let's remember the rules here. Okay. Can't say courses. This is a rule. This is Isabella. This is her thing, right? Baddie in Business. So here we are looking, you know, it looks like, you know, she has 2 main sort of outlets for this brand. You know, it's the YouTube account here has 222,000 subscribers. Okay. So if we go back to our $222,000 per year is what we feel like we should be making, right? There's the YouTube account. That's what we're doing, right? $1 per follower, subscriber, whatever, per year. 222,000 people on YouTube should be pulling in about $220,000 a year from that channel. And then over here, we got her Instagram channel, right? So Instagram, she's got about 100,000 followers over here on this Instagram thing. We'll talk about, she's got some other properties, you know, but in terms of Baddie in Business, this brand, this, you know, what she's doing here, right? We're now looking at something basically like, you know, we're looking at basically $300,000 a year, right? So here's another, I'll call this another 100K per year, right? So how big is the opportunity?
At a minimum.
This is how big the opportunity is, right? Add them up. Who does some math, huh? Anybody feeling like doing some math?
We don't do math.
We don't do math. Like it was bait. It was bait, and Taylor is not taking it. I'm taking it. It was in. I love it. So we go back over, right? What is the opportunity, right? That means that for Isabella, it looks like we're staring at an opportunity that is something like 300K per year, right? Just from this brand right here. But obviously, you know, Isabella has a little bit of a different setup here, and we'll talk about that in just a minute when we get into kind of the revenue breakdown, right? But that brings us to question number 2, which is, what are they promoting? If you go and follow the links from YouTube descriptions and click on the link in their bio on Instagram, right, you will understand go to homepages and start clicking around. What are the creators you're following promoting, right? What are they out there promoting? So if I actually zoom back over, right, what I did was I grabbed Isabella's link tree, right? Baddie in Business. So if you go to Instagram and go click on the link in her bio, this is where it's going to take you, right? And so let's just look at what these are. First one up here is literally just promoting her YouTube channel. So I'm going to give this a green box next to everything that Isabella owns, because this is just something I like a lot, right? But here we go. Here's green, because this is Isabella's pointing back to her own YouTube channel, right? All good there. Next one is how I made 80K in 1 month. Again, it's a YouTube video of her own making. So she's sending people back to another YouTube video. And you're going to sense a theme here. Here's another YouTube video, and another one, and another one, and another one, right? All
Where's
of these
DJ
links.
Khaled?
Yeah, right? Almost every single one of these links is just promoting people back to her YouTube videos of different shapes and sizes, right? Which is good. Like, Jordan, break this down for us. A lot of times we have a different problem, right? Where the links people are promoting go to things that they don't own, right? Break that one down for us.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of folks, they try to do affiliate deals or sponsorship deals where you are getting your audience to click on your link in bio, and then you're sending them to, I don't know, gymshark.com, or you're sending them to some kind of like off-brand website that is not who you are, but maybe you're going to get an affiliate code, you're going to get a commission from that if someone makes a purchase, Robinhood app, crypto app, whatever it may be. So we don't recommend that, because you don't control that traffic, and then you're also not in control of that commission structure. If you want to make a change, if you want to make more money, the only kind of levers that you have is you just have to drive more people to that link, rather instead of say like, okay, why don't you create your own thing? Why don't you have your own videos? Why don't you have your own, I'm going to say courses, but some kind of digital product where you're selling your expertise, your products.
I love it. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. It is great that she's promoting stuff that's her own stuff. She's promoting her own videos, her own channel, right? It's this nice growth thing. Someone checks her out on Instagram, they're going to kind of cross promote and do that kind of stuff, right? So, but that brings us back over to question number 3, right? So what is Isabella promoting, right? She's basically sending people back to her YouTube channel. I mean, that's essentially what she's doing. It's kind of this nice little, ecosystem where she's just got Instagrams promoting YouTube, and kind of the other way is true too, right? Now, that brings us to question number 3. How easy is it to buy? All right. And this is where things start falling a little bit apart, but we'll explain. It's a little bit different, right? If I go back over to her link tree, right? The only real problem I see here is that none of these options actually let me spend money with Isabella, right? None of these are going to let me spend money with Baddie in Business. If I love this content, if I'm all in, I'm really enjoying everything, right? It is literally just 100% free, which is, right, one of her rules. So I can't knock this too hard. You know what I mean? One of her rules is like, I'm not going to sell courses. Like, Taylor, we were talking about this beforehand, right? You were the first one to point this out, right? Explain this sort of like not selling courses thing that Isabella's got going on.
Yeah, and I think it's a pretty cool take, because especially in the last 2 years where the creator economy has just blown up, that's like the number one thing that people tell you is, if you know something and you can explain it, make it into a course and sell it. But she exclusively ensures that all of her content across all of her channels is absolutely 1,000% free. She does not want to do a course. One of her videos, she said, like, if I'm, doing well and receiving all of these cool things, I want to kind of pay it forward by giving you guys the game on how I did all of this, so that way you can go and do it too, because I shouldn't have to just hold this knowledge myself. Whereas other folks might decide, okay, I'll give you some of the secrets, but like, to really learn how, I'm going to put it behind a paywall that requires you to pay in order to receive that information. So it's a really cool twist on being able to offer a lot of great value, but it does start to create different avenues in which she can make her own money on her own content. So she doesn't want to do courses at all, but that's totally okay, because there are options to still monetize the information that she knows.
For sure. Yeah. And I think kind of in pursuit of this, honestly, I think Isabel's taken a little bit too far. I agree with Digital Growth Hack Club that she's leaving a lot of money on the table, right? I think she can operate within this world in which she's saying, okay, cool. I don't want to be the person that's making courses and that's where all my money comes from, right? We'll talk in a second about where her money comes from, right? But without like letting people who, like giving people the opportunity to come and buy something from her, right? Because this is a very big problem. How easy is it to buy? Currently, right this second, right? Again, this is a big red X. You literally can't buy, right? Now, that being said, Isabel also has videos. I made $80,000 in a month, right? Where is she making that money from? All right. So for that, and by the way, if you guys want the big mind map that we always create for these Tuesday takeovers, drop a yes down in the comments. If you guys want us to post this after the video, give us a yes down in the comments and we'll make sure that we get an export of this and make it available, something you guys can go grab. So if you guys want the mind map, let us know. But this pie chart
on the surface, like her YouTube channel is like the ultimate long play. Like it's just goodwill. It's just, this is all free. I'm not trying to monetize you. I'm not trying to rip you off. And like, I understand that angle. She's like, doesn't want to seem tacky or like, you're the expert who sells courses, but you're not actually doing the thing that your course says that you will help solve. Like those kind of like circular thing. Like you're an investor or teacher, but you're not actually an investor. You're not actually making the money. You're just teaching people how to do it. That's like, exactly. I can understand that tackiness.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And so, no, I mean, listen, hidden in there is something really, really good, right? I just think there's a big opportunity that I think we're missing here too. So listen, if we were to break it down from her own mouth, this is where Isabel says her revenue comes from, right? As she said, she made $80,000 in a month. And this is basically what she was saying. She was saying that number one on the list, right, is I'm going to call it Facebook video monetization. And so this is really kind of out of left field, okay? But this one specifically is not even coming from the Baddie in Business brand, okay? Like we said, Baddie in Business is mostly Isabella teaching what she's doing in other brands, which is really cool. And I think it's awesome, right? But this is coming from a really weird source, right? But her dog has a TikTok and an Instagram channel, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, fun fact, people, you can make money from Facebook videos. Who'd have thought?
And so she makes these shorts with her dog, right? That Facebook picks up and they're really viral and they go out there, right? And she said of her $80,000, like $36,000, you know what I mean, came in 1 month from this one Facebook, or not one video, you know what I mean? But that was what she was making. Facebook video monetization. She's basically saying she's got videos out there.
Rent.
Yeah,
36,000 a month. 36K a month is 432,000 a year.
432,000 a year.
My dog on the floor. I need to get him to make me some money because
my dog's over here eating 36 pounds of food a month. You know what I mean? Like that's all he's doing. So here's the cool part. The cool part is that's an awesome number, right? But we'll talk about why that number right there has an enormous downside, right? An enormous downside. Now, let's keep going, though, because she kind of went around the block here. It wasn't just Facebook video monetization, right? She also is making a big amount of money from her e-commerce store. And so actually, we can go ahead. Let's bring that up because, Taylor, this was something you almost seemed to know more about than I did, right? But if we go, this is baddieful.com, right? And here is a site where, Isabella has, she's got a TikTok and Instagram account that promotes these physical products, these kind of little, I don't mean this in a demeaning way, but little chucky type stuff, you know what I mean? And she's drop shipping, right? She's selling these products that she's, sourcing from overseas and selling things for, $15, $40, $15, that kind of stuff. And, adding her nice little markup and shipping them out.
Cool. This is like, Scott, you would call this like traditional e-commerce. Like this was like how it started.
Yeah, this is drop shipping. You know what I mean? This is physical products. This is, she even says she's not using Shopify. You know what I mean? This is, I believe it's built on WooCommerce, if I could be wrong about that, right? But even this, right, again, like it's great. She's making, she said she made another like 30, 35K, in gross revenue, not profit, like selling this kind of stuff. But again, this has some major downsides, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. But we can go ahead. We'll bring Miro back up here, because we can keep moving, because it's not all of her revenue isn't even just represented in those two things, right? Then she has some YouTube video revenue, right? So YouTube ad revenue, we'd call that kind of like traditional, video monetizing, and then off and on down the thing, there was some, some brand deals she was talking about that were going to come to fruition because, she's got this viral dog thing that people are kind of into, and then like over and above, there was like some affiliate partnerships that were, basically small potatoes, right? So I'll put, affiliate marketing. And so, yeah, all of this kind of, brings up to the entirety of her revenue. And she was saying, hey, listen, I made, hold on, before I go click on and select everything on this page, all of this kind of added up to something like 80K in revenue in the month in which she was talking about. She was describing 1 month of her business, right? Now, that looks like a damn good month. You know what I mean? And this is something this is not done lightly. What I'm about to say is not said because I think what Isabel's doing is somehow bad. What my word of the day here is going to be sustainability. Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring up 2, right? And we'll talk about this in a little bit. Number 1, we talked about promote stuff you own, right? And number 2 is I'm going to say create sustainability.
Okay.
Create sustainability in your business, right? Staying power. How can you do not only 80K in 1 month, how can you do 80K every month, right? How can you make sure that you're not at the whims of other platforms and tools and stuff like that? How can you make sure that you are set up in a way so that anytime you need to go make money, you can make that happen? Because Jordan, you and I talked not that long ago with Julius Dean, one of the biggest Facebook creators of all time, right? I think he owns the record, right? Didn't he say he owns the record for the most views on Facebook videos ever?
Like it's funny to say 45 billion views in a year, but literally 45 billion views in a year.
Yep.
And
so, it's freaking insane. I mean, it's an unbelievable number, right? Well,
nice paycheck from Facebook.
Right. So let's talk about this, right? Julius was telling us, okay, cool. Hey, what was that? That was like 2020, right? Was 45 billion views. Jordan, did you remember what he told us about 2021?
That it just went pew, and Facebook just said,
I think he said he was under 100 million, I think is what he said he was.
Yeah. Facebook was like, we don't like this.
Like, we're talking like 2% of that, right? We're like, Facebook decided that Julius's videos weren't that engaging anymore, and he hit a cliff. And all of a sudden, he went from someone who was getting more views than anybody in the history of what's going on to nothing, to literally nothing. And you know what else? The really rough part is that Julius was telling us that he had 0 customers, right? He had 0 email list. He had 0 things to buy. Right? So this whole section of Isabel's business, right? If I'm just going to highlight, this section right here, the Facebook video monetization, right, is something that in a heartbeat could be gone. The moment that her viral dog videos aren't that interesting to that many people anymore, right? Or Facebook moves on to the next weird, crazy fad thing going on. You know what I mean? That entire side of her business could be gone in a heartbeat, okay? This $36,000 in a month number is awesome. Good for her, right?
Let's follow this metric. Like, Scott, if it was 98%, I got my calculator out, so we're safe, folks. 9. If it took a 98% drop from 36,000, that is $720 a month.
Wow.
So going from saying like I can buy a Porsche a month or 2, whatever it may be, or I can have a really nice car per month, to saying I can't even pay rent this month with this paycheck now.
Exactly, right? And so at the end of the day, stuff like Facebook video monetization is very fickle. You know what I mean? Like, that stuff can be gone in a heartbeat. And if it was gone tomorrow, she has nothing to show for it other than a couple months of good videos. You know what I mean? And a couple months of good stuff. Like, that's great. But you got to catch lightning in a bottle, and then you got to do it again and again and again and again. Okay? So Facebook monetization, not something that you chase, right? That's not something, it's great that she's got it. That's awesome, right? But I'd like to see how she could build some more sustainability in there, right? Now, let's talk about the e-commerce store, right? The e-commerce store chunk, nice bit of revenue. She's clearly doing well, you know what I mean? But in the same vein as Julius Dean, like, what happens when these products, right? And let me just go back, like Taylor, you were plugged in on who's buying this stuff. You know what I mean? You were like way more in the sweet spot. You recognize this as like, oh, I see sites like this all the time. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
What happens? How quick do you think this could be out of fashion?
I mean, very easily. I think the pandemic proved that with physical products and all of the shipping issues and trying to get stuff through customs and all that kind of stuff. So that's the only thing about when you have physical products that aren't even in your own house. They have to be brought in from somewhere else. Especially if you have a popular item that keeps selling out and you have to keep restocking that, and there's a delay in getting that to your warehouse so we can continue fulfilling orders and things like that. You can lose interest fast. And we know people only sit on sites and are ready to buy right then and there. So if there's any hiccups or any hangups or unavailability, gone. All of those people are gone.
Yep. Out of stock
Absolutely.
can
Yeah.
kill all the momentum you have as an e-commerce store.
Absolutely. Yep. And so, you know, like looking at this part of her brand, right? And we'll go back over to Miro, right? When you're talking about threats to this side of her business, right? Shipping. What happens when you run into shipping problems? And I have never in my life met someone who is in the e-commerce world and drop shipping products, you know what I mean, who isn't afraid constantly that the things they're bringing in aren't going to come through, right? They're constantly worried about when's my next box coming through, because if all of a sudden they don't have inventory, they can't sell, right? How about this? How about pricing and competition?
Yep.
Right? I think it's
Yeah,
awesome. I think what Isabel is doing is great, and she's found something specific, and she's making great content, pushing people to these products. But at the end of the day, there's nothing stopping someone from finding this same person and selling these identical units. You know what I mean? Because they go find the right person over in China or Taiwan or whatever who's making these, and they start drop shipping it themselves. Right? It is open season for competition when we talk about
That's the
this
whole
stuff.
game with drop shipping. You're trying to find like what's trendy. Like think like fidget spinners back in the day. You're trying to just find what's trendy, see if you can sell it for 5 cents less than the other guy, and try to sell as many as you can in that small window that you have. And then somebody undercuts you, and then now you got to go find another new trendy product. But then you have 30 boxes of fidget spinners in your garage from 2012. It's just
That's
like,
my favorite example to use, right? Is I know people who have boxes of fidget spinners. You know what I mean? Because everybody jumped on those things, and that's it. You know what I mean? That's all it takes. And now all of a sudden they got to come up with a totally new brand, spin up a new site, new everything. You know what I mean? Because it's just the game moves on. You know, your people are just moving on from one thing to the next. So, you know, listen, when we back up and we look at, you know, her revenue overall, clearly Isabella is sharp, and I highly recommend going to her YouTube channel, watching her videos, because what she's doing is great, right? My only fear in looking at her business is that her two absolute biggest sources of revenue are not sustainable things, right? They are not things that, yeah, exactly, just like Digital Growth Hack said, right? Like Facebook, YouTube can change their payout structure and boom, right? She's out. She's gone. You know what I mean? Like she's absolutely gone. And so what does sustainability look like? When I'm talking about, okay, let's if we're focused on these two things today, right? Number one is promote stuff that you own, and number two is create sustainability. What is sustainability, right? How does that change, and how does that look differently, right? And let's go ahead. I'm just going to draw some stuff down over here. But listen, sustainability is going to be one of two things. Number one, right? Sustainability practice, right, is build your own list. Okay, so when we're talking about how do we create sustainability, number one is going to be you need a list of people that you own, right? So not Facebook followers, right? Not
YouTube subscribers,
TikTok people, YouTube, right? Not all that kind of stuff. Exactly, right? When we talk about people that you own, right? Now we are talking about, and I keep switching over to my eraser here. We are talking about email subscribers, right? We are talking about SMS subscribers, and most of all, right, the single lever point here, right, is customers, right? These are things that you own over here on the right, okay? And these are things over here on the left that you are renting at best, okay? And can be taken away from you in 2 seconds, okay? Build your own list, all right? So what does that look like, right? When we are talking about things that, you know, here at Sam Card and the creators that we break down and stuff, all the ones that are really crushing it, you mean, what does that look like? Well, one of the things that we always harp on, again, right, is we always harp on, and I'll trying to figure out where to draw this. So I got room to draw it, but I'll just draw it over here. We'll go with number 2 over here, right? Is digital products. Okay, digital products. And that does not mean, if we remember the rule from earlier today, right, is we can't say the word courses. All right, that is Isabella's number 1 rule is I'm not going to be someone selling courses, right? Well, heck yeah, don't sell courses, sell digital products, right? Think of all the things that Isabella could be selling using this brand right here, right? Baddie in Business. That would be bringing in revenue, right? That are not courses, and that would be building an asset in a customer list that she could hit up anytime she wants, anytime, anywhere, right? And talk about launch a new venture, and she's got 10,000 customers, waiting to hear about that thing, right? Waiting for that in their inbox. You've got all kinds of awesome stuff that you can do there. Right? So it is not just about courses, right? Selling digital products, building sustainability is about building your own list, something you own, okay? Something that cannot be taken away from you. And second is selling digital products, right? And so, Jordan, Taylor, let's highlight what are the benefits of digital products, right? We've talked about the downsides of drop shipping. We've talked about the downsides of just collecting Facebook video monetization, right? Why do we always harp on everyone here should be selling digital products in one shape or another?
First one that comes to mind. Oh, go ahead, Taylor.
I was going to say instant gratification. Like, digital products means in your hands or on your computer or mobile device right then and there. And that's something that, we've seen in even content creation trends is people want right now. They don't want to wait.
Absolutely.
They don't want to sit through a really long video or anything else like that. So with digital products, you're able to immediately make that available for them, which gives them that, nice dose of serotonin of like, yay, I got something new, and now I can use it towards whatever it is that you're trying to use it for.
Yep, that's what I was going to add. Deliverability, that instant access to something if they want it. What is another one that you have a higher profit margin? You don't have to pay shipping. You don't have to pay for cost of goods sold, also known as your COGS. You don't have to hunt down your supplier or find a new manufacturer, or your this thing ran out of that, so now you got to go, or your warehouse is flooded and the boxes are all wet. Now you got to go find a new, or your UPS, DHL, FedEx guy didn't show up today. It's just none of those things involved when it comes to just shipping out a digital product.
Yep, I love it. One that I'm going to tack on at the end of the list here, right, is ease of creation, right? Easy creation. You can spin up new digital products and templates and things that you can sell in a weekend, you know what I mean? And have new ideas, new things fresh out there in the market, right? So that you can always be on top of trends. So you can always be the first one to market with ideas, you know what I mean? That all of a sudden you are, we're back again. Digital growth hacks is doing great. It's always in stock. That's exactly right. It's always in stock with digital products. I love that, right? So if we have the rule, okay, of no courses, we can't sell courses, right? What would Baddie in Business go out there and sell, right? So we've decided, we've got the idea. Okay, awesome. We're going to create some sustainability, right? We're going to create our own email list here, our own customer list, our own SMS list, something that Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, whatever, can't take away from us, okay? We're going to do that by selling digital products, but it can't be courses. What are we selling?
I think the biggest one that I felt was really cool just from watching a couple of her videos is tools. Everybody wants to know, how are you doing this behind the scenes? How did you set up your dropship company? Everybody has a company that they're, subscribed to or using or whatever, that's always asking you, hey, invite your friends and we'll give you $50 or whatever. And why not compile that in a PDF of like, hey, I already told you I'm going to give you all the free information that you want to know on how to build your e-commerce site, but here are all the tools that I use, and here are discounts or a free month trial or whatever, and bundle that all in a PDF. Done.
Absolutely.
I think that's
100%. Who wouldn't spend that? Yeah, who wouldn't spend that? That would be, man, you could charge whatever you want, right? If you're talking to someone who has been there and done that, and you're trying to achieve, I would kill to have a drop shipping store that's that high, or I would kill to have content that's getting that many views. You know what I mean? She is accomplishing some incredible things, right? And to get that person's recommendations, pay for that all day long without being a course, right? Without being that kind of thing. Jordan, what else would go create?
Yeah, at the beginning, we're trying to like when we first dove into this, we were trying to understand like what's the business, what are you promoting, like because on the public facing side it's YouTube, so that audience is like business people, people in e-commerce, people that want to start some kind of drop shipping or make money online. But then what she's selling is, oh hey, there we go,
Oh,
Bells
she's
in the
in the
chat.
Baddie's
It's
back
Bell in
house.
the house. What's
Welcome
going on?
in the
in.
house. And so what she was selling on Baddiful is like that customer has nothing to do with like I want to learn how to do e-commerce, I want to learn how to do business. So like what depends on what we're trying to sell to what particular customer. So if we are trying to sell to these business folks that want to learn e-commerce, then yeah, like favorite tool, it's so tempting to say a course. Oh, don't do it, Jordan. Don't say like how to open a
Okay,
Shopify
Jordan.
store.
Jordan,
Like
there's
the
so
number
many
one
other
rule.
things. Yeah, the only
Break the
rule,
rule.
and there are so many things. We'll actually pull up some examples from Samcard pages. If you guys want to see some Samcard pages from real Samcard customers selling other kinds of digital products, again, give us a hell yes in the chat. I'd love to know exactly what you guys want to see. If we have some time at the end, we'll save that kind of stuff. But, you know, I mean, there are so many things that can be sold that are short of courses. You know what I mean?
All right,
One of my favorite ones is
I got one, Scott. I got
template.
one. Here we go. A template. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Oh,
either
yeah.
email swipes, email copy,
Canva.
headline,
Canva.
Canva templates. Yeah, all sorts
You
like
put in Notion because I'm always buying Notion templates. I see what you did there.
Notion.
Listen,
100%.
I'm now all in. I mean, listen, this is not like a Notion, you know what I mean, like commercial here, but Jordan's converted me, Taylor. I'm like the
That's a power
anti
user
that
now.
kind of stuff guy, and I'm down. I'm totally down. Yeah. So you got, email templates, productivity templates, process templates. I mean, there's so many things like that people are willing to pay for that, you know what I mean? You drop these things in, they can become quick hitting things. You order bump other ones and they turn, $10 orders into $25 orders. I mean, just there's a lot of things in there that can be given away there. So, yeah, we talked about templates. Taylor, you had a couple more just like before we even got on today that you were spitting out.
Yeah, I love Jordan's. I'm gonna keep referring to this, so you might have to go watch the other takeovers. But access, there were a couple of videos where
Access,
she
yeah.
mentioned like we grew this channel to XYZ, or we turned this channel into what. Like, do you know I would love to pay somebody to take over my social media so I never have to think about it. I can just go scroll, like what I like, laugh at some cat videos, and call it a day, right? So one for you services are seriously slept on, and it isn't until you're looking for it that you realize, oh, there's a market out there of people who literally want to throw money at not having to do it, and all you do is create a little training guide or video of like, here's how to maintain it. I've seen that with ClickUp. Everybody wants to know how to set up ClickUp, but they don't want to actually set up ClickUp, so they pay somebody else to do it. Social media templates, videos for the editors out there. I've seen that everywhere, and it never fails that there's always a market for it, because some people like to tinker and some people just want it to work. So why not get paid to make something work that you already know how to do?
Yeah, to combine services and access, the 3 levels are, there's like done for you, where the service provider, will do everything for you. You just sit back and we'll just show you how to do it. Then there's done with you, which is kind of like, the Home Depot model, like you can do it, we can help. And then there's the DIY, like do it yourself. Here are the tools. Here's how to do it. Here are the instructions. We're not involved at all. Have a nice day. Thanks for buying. So it's like, yeah. And the done for you is going to be the most expensive, going down that tier to all the way down to the do it yourself.
Yep, exactly. And I think the thing that people feel nervous about is, well, paying for my time feels weird, right? Because sometimes like the content we create, that's us putting in our own efforts and putting it out there for free, right? But if a company pays you for your time, why can't someone else pay you for your time? It's just in a different setup. So don't be afraid of access, of saying, hey, I'll do a 1-hour consultation with you, of just page audits. Oh my God, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Why is my sales page not converting? Like, please review it, copy. Like, there's so many options that you can do just with access. Because again, your time is money. So have people
Absolutely.
pay money for it.
Folks, folks in the chat, what are your business ideas? What could we be doing? How could Baddie and business be selling more without one, using her personal brand, or without creating a course? Drop it in the chat. What are your business ideas that we could do?
I love it. Yeah, I put in downloads. Downloads is one we see all the time.
Nice.
And it's kind of a broad term, you know what I mean? But you're talking things like Adobe Premiere presets, you know what I mean? Things like shopping lists for like, busy stay-at-home parents, textures for people who do web design stuff, fonts, icons. I mean, just any kind of thing that you're producing You know what I mean? You could be selling. We call that selling the sawdust, right? I think this is one of my favorite terms. It comes from a book called Rework by the guys at 37 Signals. Highly recommend that book. I'm just
Great
going to
book.
write it down. Rework by 37 Signals. And you know what's funny? We've been doing this like Miro board thing where I draw, and I haven't had anybody make fun of my handwriting yet, like in the comments. And I could have sworn it was coming. So I guess I'm not that bad. I don't know. Maybe it's not, and maybe that's gonna invite some comments. But anyway, but we call this the term is called selling the sawdust. And so their idea is, right, is we are we're a company that's creating like software. You know, I mean, this is 37 Signals talking. They creating software, and their version of their sawdust, the output, like the breadcrumbs of what they create every day, can be packaged up itself and sold. And so they went and made this book called Rework, which was all just about how do you build people and process and teams that create great software. You know what I mean? Us being Samcart, like that book is so up my alley. You know what I mean? So I'm into my workshop every day. I'm making stuff. You know what I mean? The sawdust is what is just sitting around on the floor after I'm done creating whatever, right? And you can package that kind of stuff up and go sell it. And so that's really all of these ideas over here, right? I think fall beautifully under the selling the sawdust type mentality, right? All of these things are things that are just sitting around on your computer anyway, right? And could be sold up and packaged.
Yeah, these are things that you don't probably consider valuable, but there's something that you use every day, maybe when you're starting a new project or you're opening up your Word document or you have this special Excel spreadsheet that you always use every time you start a new, I don't know, Excel spreadsheet project. It's something you're like, yeah, I use this every day. It's whatever. Who cares? No one wants this. But if you were to ask your customers and show them this, they'd be like, wait a minute. Yeah, I know you're doing that thing, but like, what is this on? What is it? What are you building this on? What are you using some kind of special thing? Like, what do you mean? It's like, just use this formula, this formula, this formula. Like, wait a minute. How do you, can I like borrow that from you? Can I download that Google Sheet from you? Can I download that Word doc from you? And it's going to feel so bizarre. You're like, wait, people want to buy this? People actually need this? And you're like, yes. And they actually love it. And they're willing to pay 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 for it.
Because your girl hates
Absolutely.
spreadsheets and putting in formulas. So yes, please do it for me.
Do you know how many hours of time like a really, really good spreadsheet will save me that I'm happy to buy? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I've done that for, yeah, I mean, this is going to sound funny. I've done that for like fantasy football before. You know what I mean? Like something that trivial. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'll spend another $15 to save me 4 hours of time when I, like got a company to do and I got a daughter at home and I got, it's like you just, people are to get shortcuts. You know what I mean? You create those shortcuts for them. You can really reap the reward. So with that, let's look at a couple of examples, right? These are some real Samcart pages, that have been created essentially that sell all kinds of digital products that aren't courses, right? And so this is a great one, right? Client case study, a client case study Canva template, right? And so, it's going to be essentially just a bunch of designs and things like that. That's going to help someone go create their own case studies and have it done really, really simply and really, really easily. And then here are some awesome features inside of Samcart, right? We call these order bumps, where someone can say, cool, I want to go from buying product A to buying product B, C, and D at the same time, right? And this is where, we talk about profits in digital products, we talk about profits just overall in business, right? Even drop shippers, physical product sellers, everyone should be doing exactly this. So you can turn, a $33 order, right, into a $278 sale because the right person has to keep spending and keep buying more stuff. Right? Yep. Cool. So we talked about some cool examples.
Question number 4.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It comes back to question number 4, which is how easy is it to buy more, right? Here's another one. This is actually a Notion template. It's all about customer relationship management, right? So here's a CRM relationship management Notion template. And again, you kind of got 2 pages here that are that really simple side-by-side type stuff, But here we are, right? And again, this one also has order bumps for a Notion creator playbook. This one's called Second Brain, is a Notion thought process that a lot of people use, But this one's really cool because this example is that pay what you want feature in Samcart, where, you could toss something like this out and let your customers, I'll zoom in like crazy here, and let your customers decide what they want to pay you, right? So you put in a little minimum, and as long as someone puts in a number over that minimum, your customers are deciding what they want to pay you, right? A wildly, wildly cool thing for getting more conversions, getting more customers in the door, right? And then every single one of them has an opportunity to come in and say, cool, I want to add, these extra, things to my order. And all of a sudden, they're spending 2 or 3 times more just because you gave them a chance to go and buy it, right? Is that pretty freaking cool? If you guys are digging the order bump feature, give me a hell yes down in the comments. You know what I mean? Because this is the kind of thing you partner what we're talking about with the takeover. Your partner selling stuff that you own, right? Creating sustainable stuff, creating digital products that are going to build your customer list with features like this, with features like the order bump stuff. And that's how you start blowing revenue goals out of the water, right? That's how you start going from $0 to $10,000 a month, right? And scaling up beyond there is with features like this at your disposal, at your fingertips, right? Cool. Next one is actually one we made on a previous takeover. Jordan, walk us through this one. This is one you actually put together.
Oh yeah, this is the Heinz Self-Love Guide to Meditation. It'd be the digital ebook or like a PDF guide. Heinz, let me know if you're selling this. But yeah, this this was like our ebook. Ebooks, surprisingly, folks, do not have to be 100 pages. They don't have to be this daunting mega project where you feel like you have to write 100, 200, 300 pages in order for it to be good. Most ebooks, and confirm this, Scott, like most great ebooks are like under 30 pages, like 10 to 30 pages is the sweet spot.
Exactly. Yep.
So,
100%.
so yeah, you can sell something like this, and people can have instant access to it. You can sell it in all sorts of formats. You can do Kindle format, PDF, iPhone, wherever it may be, and people can say, "Hey, yes, I want this." And then we hear at the order bumps at the bottom where you say, "Hey, do you want a journal to go with this?" When you're adding an order bump, you want it to be kind of like the Coke and fries or something like it's something slightly related to what you're selling, nothing out of the blue. So that it's an easy yes, like this will, if you buy this as well, it will help you with your original product that you're buying. It just makes it
one of the coolest things, that we can do here, right? Is in this example, we're talking about, like a quick ebook that could be sold, right? Not a course, nothing. Just go write a nice, really good long blog post or something like that, right? Come out here, create something, sell it. And then what can you do is down here at the bottom, you can sell all kinds of other stuff, including now you bring in physical products, right? Why would you not sell some physical products alongside this digital thing, right? It's just another opportunity for someone to say like, yeah, heck yeah, I want to go grab that thing. I'm willing to go spend more, right? Where in this example, we're talking about, okay, cool. Maybe in Heinz's world, he's going to go create an affirmation journal, right? And ship out a physical product or a physical journal when someone chooses to grab this ebook.
And I really love this idea because it applies well in different areas. It doesn't even have to always be an ebook. I see some things about looks like some video and some audio potentially that's in there. So for like podcasters out there, if you're already sitting down and recording your audio, you're already sitting down and recording your video, a lot of podcast host platforms now let you do private feeds. So take your top 10 episodes about meditation or where you do guided meditation, make sure the edits are smooth and audio, toss it on a Samcart page and make it a digital download where it's like now you have all 10 guided meditations to listen to at any point. You don't have to dig through my whole library of podcast episodes to find it. You got it right here.
Yeah. Love that so hard. That is awesome. Yep. Awesome. Here's a physical product that sells on Samcart, right? So again, we're talking about it doesn't have to be digital products. This is a hearing aid company that sells their stuff on Samcart. And it's just a physical hearing aid. You know what I mean? They got a great sales page put together here, nice and simple, all on one page, right? And someone right down here at the bottom can complete their order and get their stuff shipped out, right? And it's even a subscription. I think that's cool too, right? It's like a subscription box type thing, which I think is great. And then here's the last one is this, they're called snap cards. They're for photographers. Jordan, I don't know if you may be familiar with the term, right?
No.
Okay, maybe not. Yeah. But this is sold to photographers as basically like a cheat sheet for how to like get the right lighting, for how to, like frame the picture correctly. You know what I mean? So it's like physically something a photographer would pull out of their pocket, and have with them on a shoot. And it's super simple, right? And here we are again, like this is where they get a chance to say, cool, I want to add, this extra order and I want to add, here's more photography cheat sheets. This is all, physical stuff, instant digital download stuff that can be done in 2 seconds. But it's, again, we're talking about examples of digital products that can be sold, that don't include courses, right? Here's 6 of them that we just rattled off here with you guys, right? Just diving into all these and showcasing how selling digital products, growing your own customer list, creating a sustainable business. I mean, can be done in so many different ways. And, of course, we believe SamCard to be one heck of a tool to make that happen.
Perfect. All right, Scott, let's for people that are just joining, it is 53 minutes into this live stream. If you're watching right now, type 53 in the chat or type 53 in the comments if you're watching this, in the next 2 weeks or a month from now or in 2023 if you're watching this. Type 53. I know you're watching. I see you right there. And then let's do a review for people who joined late. Who are we talking about today? What were the kind of overall lessons? What can we take away from this? If I'm watching this and I don't have a product, I'm not exactly sure what to sell, where should I start, and how should I think about all this stuff? Let's get into it. There we go. Boom. All right, following you, Scott.
I dig it. Let's go. So, I think in general, the biggest thing that we're here to talk about, right? This is Isabella. She runs a brand called Baddie in Business, which is, does a bunch of awesome stuff and teaches people how, her business is kind of doing some viral stuff online and making money. But, how can you do it without selling courses? You know what I mean? That's one of her mainstays is I'm not going to sell courses and I'm not going to create a personal brand. It's not going to be my face on the brand, right? How do we do that?
I gotta highlight this chat here from Passive Income with Lisa. I don't want to be on camera, but I want to get this bag.
I want to get this bag is right. I love that. Yeah, that's exactly right.
The rules. These are the rules.
So when we're looking at our business, we're talking about, okay, cool. What's the opportunity? Well, we establish, between 200 some odd followers or 200,000 some odd followers on YouTube and 100,000 more on Instagram. She's looking at a business that's making at least $300,000 a year, right? What is she currently promoting? Well, right now her business is kind of fractured up, right? Right now, from her own estimation, her own kind of like breakdown, her revenue looks something like this. She did about $80,000 in revenue in May. Not sure what June was. Not sure what July was. No clue what's happened since then. But the bulk of that is coming from Facebook video monetization, where she's posting videos from her dog is like a viral account and is posting, little shorts on Facebook and monetizing from that. She also has an e-commerce store, which is making, selling, I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's like small plush toys and keychains and stuff like that.
Knickknacks is the technical term.
Cute knickknacks. Okay.
I was going to say, I don't want to say that pejoratively at all. You know what I mean? Like this is someone who's doing tens of thousands of dollars every month in a drop shipping business is crazy impressive, right? But yeah, she's fighting uphill. She's fighting uphill battle with these two things being the biggest part of her business. And that is because, right? At the end of the day, right? It's all about promoting stuff that you own. Okay. And the idea that Facebook can take everything away from you in a heartbeat. Okay. Mm-hmm. Promoting stuff you own and creating sustainability. All of a sudden, Facebook and Instagram want to start, trends move on, right? All of a sudden, there's a new dog in town that's cuter than that dog, which I don't know, like stuff like that happens, right? All of a sudden, she'd be left with virtually nothing. So how do we create sustainability? We do it in two ways. Number one, okay, build your own list. Building your own list means I'm not talking about Facebook followers, YouTube followers, TikTok subscribers, whatever they are, right? Not those. I'm talking about building an email list, building an SMS list, building a group of customers who have bought things from you. That is sustainable, right? That is how you get to a place where, you have a real sustainable business. And Jordan, I have no idea what you're drawing, but it's
trying to do a horrible arrow. I'm terrible at Pictionary.
I dig it. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? You build your own list, okay? And what's the easiest way to do that, right? Is selling digital products, right? Selling digital products, and so many ways you can do that short of selling courses, right? I think Isabella does a really funny thing, and rightfully so. She calls out the world of people out there who all they have, right, is selling courses about teaching people how to sell more courses. You know what I mean? There's a very, very, very big world of people out there, and they know exactly who they are, right? Where that's all they got. And so I love that Isabella goes right after that, right? But the truth is, with an audience her size, there is a huge opportunity for her to sell any one of these digital product ideas up here, right above my head, that include, anything that can be delivered instantly, right? High profit margins, doesn't deal with suppliers and shipping, right? Easy product creation. And then we just took 5-10 minutes and just listed out a bunch of digital product ideas that Isabella and every single person watching this takeover could start executing on immediately, right? And roll out stuff that's going to get sold in a heartbeat for high margins and can be created once and sold to an infinite number of people from now until the end of time. There's my recap. How'd I do?
Perfect.
Bravo. If I had an applause sound alert readily available, I would play it for you. I don't, though.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, folks, last 10 minutes or so, we're going to take questions here. So if you got questions, business questions, e-commerce questions, Samcart questions, social media traffic questions, we're here to answer them. Yeah. Do we want to do takeaways? Takeaways from the show. We haven't done takeaways in a while.
It's been a little minute. All right. Takeaways. Typically at the end of every episode like this, we do our big takeaways. I want you guys to drop your biggest takeaway in the chat down below as we take a second. We're going to think it over, but we are going to give you our biggest takeaways from this as well, right? But drop yours in the chat. What is going to stick in your brain? What is the one thing you're like, I got to take action on that right this second and get right after it? And we will make sure to get the mind map from today's episode, the Miro board you're looking at here, and we'll try to get it in the comments, or we'll get some way that you guys can go and deliver this and download what we have here, right? But drop your big takeaways in the chat, your biggest aha moment, your Tuesday takeaway. Oh, that's kind of fun. Maybe we could, okay, there's something there. We're going to put a pin in that one, Jordan. We're going to circle back. But
okay.
I'm going to start with I'm going to start with Taylor. Taylor, what is your biggest takeaway from what we covered here today?
I kind of have to steal growth hacks. I think it was perfect, done for you, done with you, do it yourself in terms of like tiered stuff. You have different levels of access of, you can provide a DIY guide with all the links and resources to, hey, you can have this DIY guide and I can give you a 30-minute run through on how to do this, to, hey, I'll just do it all for you. And I think thinking through out of the box ways that you can provide that instant gratification with something that you already do. You hear people talk about in niching down, what is it that you're passionate about? What can you talk to people about all the time, right? It's the same way in how you can package it into a digital product or service of like, hey, I talk people setting up Apple Watches. I don't know what it is about my family, but I am always the person to help set up all their Apple stuff. And so it's to the point where I should probably be charging them just to do it because it's taking time out of my day to sit there, especially with my mother on the phone. Here, you do this, you do that. So think about access and ways that you can break that up and tier it into a system that allows people to buy from you in multiple ways. And that touches on, point 3 and 4. That's my biggest takeaway.
Dig it. I love that. Jordan, over to you. Big takeaway.
All right. My takeaway is I love the YouTube content strategy, just putting all your learnings, everything that you are doing behind the scenes, making your money, like come out into the world and say like show the world how you're doing, like what's behind the scenes. With the danger of YouTube is you are on rented space. We always say this, you're on rented space. It's not, they are your followers, but YouTube can take them away. I want to, if you're not going to create a digital product, at least create some kind of middle phase of where it's just maybe like a free email list or some kind of Substack or some kind of email list where like the Baddies list or the BB list or whatever, business and Baddies list, just so that you can have personal connections with them, just so you can have like some kind of direct message to them if you have an announcement, if you have something coming up, if you have a new YouTube video, to have like some kind of email list to say like, hey, we're doing this, we're launching this. Or when she does get into the digital product game, that she can build up a launch, build up that hype, and then say on Friday at midnight, we're launching this. Check your emails, click the button down below. So coming from rented space, at least into an email list, if not, turn them into full-blown customers.
I love that. Love that. Major love that for sure. I think my big takeaway, it's related to Alkin, our guy, because his takeaway was how easy is it to buy, right? Question made me think about my funnel. I'll probably have to make things easier for my audience. And yeah, at the end of the day, listen, if you have an audience, even if you have 1,000 followers, right? Even if you have 1,000 people subscribed to your YouTube channel or something, you are sitting on a full-time income, right? If you hustle it up, right? If you make it easy for your best people to come and buy from you and get into your world, you know what I mean? And then you make it easy for them to go and buy more, right? It'll change your life. And that's like, I'm not a big woo-woo kind of person. That's not like, I'm not like big, motivational speaker up at the airport type guy. But at the end of the day, I see this all day, every day on Samcart is creators who come, they take these lessons to heart, right? Make it easy for my customers to buy, make it easy for them to buy more, right? And they sit back and watch what happens. And there are people who are turning their side hustle into their main hustle, into their full-time income all the time. And so that's what I love about it. That's my favorite thing about what we do here. And I love, surfacing that in the takeover for a lot of people who are, not in the inner workings of Sam Card every single day.
Perfect. All right, let's do some questions. Can I get the full video? Yes. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can just rewind it.
It'll be here on YouTube.
Refresh the page. Yeah. All right. Another question. Oh, Alkins, he added that his product is an ebook. He has traffic generated from a blog. All traffic goes to a lead magnet. The product is, I don't know if this is a question. The product is on a thank you page, sales page, are not consistent. How can I get consistent sales? Okay. There we are.
Well, number one, so going from they're going from somewhere like social media to a page where you're giving something away, right? A la lead magnet. That's the same thing. And then making an offer to them right after they opt in for the lead magnet. That's a great, simple flow, right? At the end of the day, your ability to turn those subscribers into customers comes down to how good is what you're selling, right? How good is the offer? How good is it to the reader? As I'm a reader reading through that page, how good is your offer? What are you giving me? What benefits do I get in exchange for the money? And so at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide, okay, well, let's go look at that page and what percentage of people are buying. If you were only turning 1% of these new, subscribers into paying customers, then there's something wrong with the page. But if you're converting 10% of them into paying customers, you're doing awesome. You know what I mean? So it can seem like maybe inconsistent is not the right word. Maybe we need a number attached there, right? Go look and find out. And the people who are buying, ask them, why are you buying? The people who aren't buying, ask them, why aren't you buying? You know what I mean? And you'll start uncovering stuff about the offer you have on that page that will help you understand why things might feel inconsistent and help you decide where to go from here.
The question I always ask my students, and I stole this from Copy Hackers for the Creator U Live session.
The Creator U Live we did, yep.
The question you always ask your customers when they first arrive is, what is going on in your life that brought you to this course, book, place, whatever, this workshop? What is going on in your life? And they will tell you, it reveals the problems that they're going through. It reveals what they think your product is about, what they think what the problem that your product can solve. Why would they download an ebook? Just ask them, what's going on in your life that made you buy this ebook? Rather than say, why did you buy this ebook? Because then it gets a little defensive. Just what's going on in your life? Hey, I'm thinking about starting a new business, or I'm just bought at this, or I have a cat and I need to learn how to do this. Whatever it may be, that's going to give you some information. But one thing I want to add to Alkin's thing is, Scott, what if he removed the lead magnet and just sold the book directly? Sold the ebook directly from that blog post.
Totally. Yeah. You want to give it more simple, you know what I mean? Take that out. Make sure whatever you're selling is relatively cheap, because it's not going to be you don't ask somebody to spend dollars on your first date, you know what I mean? But if what you're selling is relatively inexpensive, 10, 20, 30 bucks, take out the lead magnet and just send people right to that page and collect the customers, you know what I mean? Collect the buyers. Don't put things in there, right? Make it even easier for people to go buy stuff. And I love that. Yeah, absolutely.
I want to take Jordan's point a smidge further, actually, of once you get that feedback of what happened in your life that brought you to this product or to this moment of buying from me, log those buzzwords. Because a lot of times we think in our own speech, and then we say it to somebody else, and it's that doesn't resonate with me. That doesn't connect with me. But by taking the feedback that people are telling you who are actually purchasing or didn't purchase, you can find those keywords to put in your copy. So that way, as people are reading through your sales page, are oh, I resonate with that. I'm tired. I don't feel good, or whatever, versus are you exhausted?
Right.
That's a long word. I don't feel like dealing with that. Right. So use the words that your customers are giving you in your copy, because that's what's going to trigger them of hey, I can connect with that. This is the product for me.
I dig it. Totally.
Bingo.
Here's a great question really quick from Mona. She said, where can I find a template or a resource for the pay what you like checkout? Definitely go to Sam Card's help articles, type in pay what you want, Sam Card in Google. I mean, we've got blog posts and help articles about how to make that happen, but it's a very, very cool feature inside of Sam Card. Again, that pay what you want feature, very, very cool. Definitely go check that out. I do want to give a quick shout out again. Anybody like Alkin who's how do I write a great sales, right? How do I come up with more digital product ideas to sell? How do I launch an online business? You know what I mean? Come check out Creator U. Creator U is an incredible library. It is a Netflix style library, where basically it's a bunch of stuff that me and a bunch of Sam Card's top creators have all contributed to create an incredibly valuable, enormous library. Like, here's all the traffic and ads content. Each one of these is an individual, we call them blueprints, where you can go in here and learn about how to leverage your content with James Wedmore, right? How to launch your podcast, how to get, 78,000 Instagram followers for free, like we did in a year. Talk with Kim Jimenez about organic traffic strategies. Like, Rock Eula talk about YouTube stuff because he's a guy who's freaking incredibly good at YouTube, right? Jordan mentioned the copywriting stuff with Joanna Bain, right? Like, all of this is in here, and you can get access for virtually nothing. It is $12 a month, and you get access to this entire library, creatoru.com, just like it's here, written here, right here, right? creatoru.com. We also, this tile right here is Creator U Live. Twice a month, we bring in our top sellers from Samcart, from, industry experts and friends and people we know, who are just rock stars at something about digital marketing and digital sales. And we have them come in, and there's a 90-minute session twice a month where you guys can come in and get coached by these people, ask questions, and check these things out. If you want access to those calls, go to creatoru.com and get Creator U Live. It's kind of the premium subscription to Creator U. But you guys can go check the entire library. There's stuff in here about writing sales pages, about creating courses, about using Facebook ads, about, using upsells to drive more profit, about TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and all kinds of free traffic stuff. Any one of these blueprints is worth more than what we're asking you to pay for the year. If you want to pay for a year, it's $120. Any single one of these things is worth that by itself. And you get access. I think at last count, we have over 50 unique blueprints in here. Go to creatoru.com if you want to keep learning about this kind of stuff. It is an incredible resource that is a perfect complement to any Sam Card account as well. So check it out.
Perfect. All right. Margaret asks, even if you are selling a digital product, can you sell or can you add on, or sorry, if you're selling a physical product, can you add on digital products? Simple answer, yes. If you are selling on,
exactly what we recommend all the time, right? If you're selling a physical product, sell a digital product, right? If you're selling, a journal, right? Why not sell something that's like, here's my like mental flush journal outline, and it's a digital ebook that teaches people, hey, here's my formula for like getting everything out of my brain and into a journal at the end of the day, so that I'm more relaxed, right? We see it all the time. People selling, physical goods and selling, a premium, video or ebook or something kind of like that helps people get more out of whatever they just bought. You absolutely can make that happen, and you should make that happen. And digital creators should be doing the reverse. Digital creators should be selling physical goods, right? It's just this beautiful, mesh, kind of blueprint in there, so that your customers can always have an opportunity to go spend more, and you reap the rewards.
Yep. There's oddly something magical about physical. So, and everybody says it. If you buy books, you probably buy the physical book, and you'll probably buy the ebook, and you probably buy the audio book. So if you are selling a book, just offer every version, offer them as add-ons, and you can instantly get the digital book, you can instantly get the audiobook, and then say add your shipping address, and then 2 to 3, 4 days later you'll get the physical book. Very simple, very easy.
Bingo.
All right, well, let's see what else. Mona asks, make sure this is a good question. I'm just gonna throw it up here. What sticks since the bit? Oh, maybe this was I think
it's their
takeaway. Okay, perfect. But, here she was asking, she already asked where I find the pay what you want. Check. Margaret added her takeaways. What is the best email, SMS contact management resource, company or product? Thank you.
I mean, man, there's a lot of good ones. You know what I mean? I always recommend starting with the ones that are free. If you're just starting out, go to MailChimp, go to ConvertKit. There are options out there that are totally free for you until you hit, 1,000 subscribers. They're all kind of the same. I got to be honest. Email tools, like, unless you're a really, really advanced business and you need like premium level features that only HubSpot or ActiveCampaign or something give you, like, all the other ones are kind of the same. You know what I mean? Just go pick your favorite one, the one that looks friendly enough to you, and check it out.
Yeah. The best thing, what you can do on Samcart is connect with Zapier to something like Google Sheets. And if you don't have that many customers, you're not like, crushing it 1,000 sales a day, maybe you're getting 5 sales or less a day. Just integrate it to say, when this order comes through, add this contact information to a Google spreadsheet. And then
There
you
you
can
go.
see all your information right there. You can do whatever you want. You can upload it to your MailChimp account, Substack, wherever it may be. I even have Samcart Zapier integration would text me the phone number of my new customer, and then on my phone, I will text that customer instantly. So right as an order comes in, I say, "Hey, what's up? It's Jordan. What's going on? Nice to meet you." It can be something as simple as that. You don't even need a whole like mini chat or some kind of SMS software where you got to pay $1 per text or 5 cents a text. You can just keep it simple.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
I think that is it, folks. That is the takeaway Tuesday. Let me share the Luma event. Folks, if you're just now watching this, we have this every single week. The link in the chat right down below is loom.ma/Samcart Takeover Live. You click there, it takes you to an events page. You just drop your name and email, and you'll get a reminder. You'll get a Google Calendar invite to this very takeover. So you don't have to go searching for this takeover. You just check your email and say, this show is starting in 5 minutes. You click open, you click watch on YouTube, and you're here live every Tuesday at what time? 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. for you guys Central, 1 p.m.
Time
Pacific.
math. We don't do time math either.
That's a little easier math, I think, for most of us that we're willing to do on live. But for all of us here at Samcart, thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you guys for sharing your takeaways. Continue to drop them in the chat down below. And of course, as always, if you enjoyed this content, it is a huge boost to us. Subscribe to the channel, give it that thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you enjoyed this content. But with that, I'm Scott Moran. That's Jordan P. Anderson. That's Taylor Danielle. From all of us here at the Samcart team, thank you guys for joining us. We will catch you in the next edition of the Tuesday Takeover. Be good. We out.